I hid our arguments, bruises, his attitude towards me because I didn't want to traumatize the children and involve them in adult problems. By the time of our divorce, I felt like a wife and not even a human being, but simply like a robot that works, earns money, and solves all problems while at home scandals and contempt await. I love my children very much, but at the same time, it seems to me that I have already sacrificed my own happiness for enough years. Just because two people love each other doesn't mean they're meant to be together.
She kind of glossed over the depth of the abuse, but to then turn around and meet someone who just treats you with human decency can cause you to fall head over heels.
This is an Unsolicited Perspectives YouTube exclusive.
All right, Jay, I found another good one. Another Reddit post, Am I the Jerk? And the title of it is, Am I the Jerk for Getting Married Even Though My Children Are Against the Wedding?
Ooh.
Right.
Spicy.
It is spicy. All right. So I'm a 35-year-old. 2 years ago, I divorced my husband after many years of marriage, which from the outside seemed perfect. To everyone around, he was an exemplary father. He was always there for the children, went to school events, spent a lot of time with them. Our children still consider him the perfect dad, but they never saw what I saw. For most of the marriage, it was I who provided for our family. My husband barely worked and all of our major expenses were on me. However, it was not even about the money. If there had been respect between us, it wouldn't have bothered me. Instead, for years, I felt unwanted, undervalued, and exhausted. I hid our arguments, bruises, his attitude towards me because I didn't want to traumatize the children and involve them in adult problems. By the time of our divorce, I felt like a wife and not even a human being, but simply like a robot that works, earns money, and solves all problems while at home scandals and contempt await. The divorce was a real shock to the children since they didn't know what was actually happening between us. To them, it all looked like as if I just destroyed a happy family. They still hope that their father and I will be together again one day, seeing that their father is convinced that I am cheating. However, about a year after the divorce, I met a man who completely changed my life. We didn't know each other before, and in principle, I didn't even have thoughts about other men anywhere close. Oh my goodness, woman. But with this man, for the first time in many years, I felt happy. He respects me, supports me, takes care of me and my children. He has never tried to replace their father and has always treated them with patience and kindness, even understanding that are set against him, understanding that they are set against him. A few months ago, he made a proposal to me. I hesitated for a long time because my children literally begged me to refuse. They said they would never accept him into the family and that I was making a huge mistake. When I asked what exactly they didn't like about him, they couldn't name a single concrete reason. The only thing they repeated was that they wanted to see me together with their father. After a few months, I still agreed. I don't even know.
I think after a few months, she agreed to marry.
Yeah, but it's just the way that she wrote it. Ladies and gentlemen, okay.
We're doing our best.
We're doing our best. Now we're preparing for the wedding, and the children are doing everything possible to ruin it. They refuse to participate in the preparation, convincing relatives not to come, and consistently accusing me of destroying our family for the second time. I love my children very much. Their opinion is important to me. But at the same time, it seems to me that I have already sacrificed my own happiness for enough years. My ex-husband has long been living his own life, but I'm expected to always remain in the past. I truly believe that I found a person who loves me, respects me, and sincerely cares both about me and about my children. Am I the jerk for deciding to marry him anyway?
Does the writer at all give the children's ages?
No, they don't, but she's 35.
So they're not that old.
I mean, they could be 10, 12, 14 even, but she says she's 35, but she doesn't give the age of the children. They're old enough to express that they are never going to accept them and then call in the family members. Let's say their ages are anywhere between 8 and 15.
Okay.
And she doesn't say how many children that she has.
Right. So she wants to know, is she the jerk for getting married even though her kids are against it.
Mm-hmm.
No. Because you're not married to your kids.
Nope.
You're not married to your kids. They don't have to like their real father. They don't have to like you.
Mm-mm.
They don't have to like and that does not that's not a factor.
All
It's
they had to
not.
do is respect
Yes.
you.
So that's the thing you need to just encourage respect and make sure that boundary is set. Like, hey, you don't have to like anything, but you will respect the fact that this person will be or is my husband. And this is our family now. You don't have to like it. In fact, you probably aren't. Like, there are, I think, a lot of children of divorce, right, that don't like it. Right? Like, you don't have to like any of this. But I think the conversation needs to be, I'm not just your mom. I'm also a human being. And I think a real conversation needs to be had. Do you need to give them the details? Absolutely not. But I think you do need to sit down and say, your dad is always going to be your dad. I'm always going to be your mom. We're always going to love you first and foremost. But we don't work together as a married couple. We don't. We were not happy, and now we're much happier.
Well, she's much happier.
She said the dad kind of has already moved on and done his thing.
No, she said that he's always been living his own life.
Yeah. So again, he doing his own thing.
Right.
Right. Yeah. The conversation needs to be had. That I understand that we're a family. But there is your father and I, and then there's us as parents.
Mm-hmm.
Us as parents, we're always going to be a family. But your dad and I don't need to be a couple.
Yeah.
And family can look like a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be the new shape of ours.
2 points that I want to make. Somebody that I hold very dear in my life once told me, just because two people love each other doesn't mean they're meant to be together. That's one.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a very, very good friend of mine who told me the story of one time, and he's an only child, that told me the story of one time he asked his dad, hey, Dad, who do you love more, me or Mom? And without hesitation, his dad said, your mom. And my boy was taken aback, like, I'm your son. He was like, yeah, but I chose to spend the rest of my life with your mother. And that's what I think a lot of adults don't really understand is, and I'm not knocking parents, children are the greatest thing in the world. Mm-hmm. And being a parent is to me the most important job in the world. But so many people are focused on, I really want to have kids, and choose to be a parent, and I don't think really take into the same consideration of their partner. Because if they did, they would realize that the partner is a lifetime commitment to the person. It's the most important relationship that you are supposed to have. Nothing is supposed to supersede that.
Right.
It is the person that you choose to spend the rest of your life with. Now, she already chose one person that didn't work out. She's trying to choose another person. And I hope the best for her. I would say this is really sudden. 2 years and you're already getting married and you only known the cat for a year. It's really sudden. And as a person of divorce, I will say when you come out of a divorce, there's one or two things that people tend to do. They tend to either go full deep into dating again because they miss a relationship. Mm-hmm. And then when those people that go full into dating again without healing, they try to replace the relationship.
Yeah.
They try to do the same things. I've seen it. Not me personally. I didn't try to do that, but other women that I've dated in divorce and friends of mine of divorce have gone out on a date, and I'm like, hey, you trying to place him in that position of your ex-husband because you missed the relationship, not the ex-husband, the relationship. You got to be careful placing people in certain situations just because you don't want to be alone.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that she's doing that because she ain't give us a lot of details, but I'm saying people need to be
I
very.
definitely think it could be a little bit of that. I think that her prior relationship, she kind of glossed over the word, but I heard the word bruises.
I heard the word, yes. I read bruises. I said that. I saw that. And I was like, she didn't seem like she didn't want to elaborate on that.
She kind of glossed over like the level or the depth of the abuse, but to then turn around and meet someone who just treats you with human decency, I think can cause you to fall head over heels instead of going out there and really realizing that that might be a result of your past trauma, that you're attached to somebody who shows you kindness. But like, you should also go out there and date some more and figure out what you want, what you don't want.
Yeah. And bruh, dude that proposed, man, did she give you the full story? Because she said in this thing that I hid our arguments, bruises, his attitude towards me because I didn't want to traumatize the children and involve them in adult problems.
Yeah.
Bruises are not adult problems. They are problems.
They're just straight up problems. Yeah.
And I know, I can understand you might not, they have such reverence for their father. You might not want to be like, he was hitting on me. But
but here's the thing about that. And I understand, I've seen people do this firsthand. Women tend to do this to protect their children. They don't talk about, and I'm not saying that you have to give all the gory details, but he's not a good dad if he hits you. Sorry. He's not a good dad if he doesn't have respect for the mother.
Okay.
I don't care that he makes sure that he provides and goes to all the little league games. He didn't make sure that he provided. Right, so that's another thing. Yeah, he seems like the perfect dad, and he's always at the little league games because he ain't got no job.
Yeah. Well, she said barely worked.
He had a lot of free time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so, yeah, you can, but sorry, you're protecting a lie. That's what you're doing. Again, this is not a situation you have to give children all the gory details, but they do need to understand and be clear that there is a separate relationship that is at play that they are not a part of. And so that relationship also has to be happy, healthy, and functioning, or else the family as a whole ain't gonna work.
Yeah. So, long story short, ma'am, you are not the jerk for marrying this man. You might be the jerk to yourself by not taking the time to really be in the relationship. But you know what? I've seen these situations and they turn around and people get divorced and then they find somebody and get remarried and it lasts for a really, really long time. So hey, look, I'm not no relationship expert. I'm just saying, maybe take a step back and think about everything.
Yeah.
But no, you're not a jerk for them kids. Them kids seem like a jerk. You might need to spank them.
No, it's a conversation. Well, and honestly, it's a conversation that all three adults need to have with these kids.
Oh, I would imagine that new dude and old dude, if they have met, not cool. I'm telling you, I've been in that situation. And the only reason why most of the time the former husbands and baby daddies back down is because they tend to be a lot smaller than me. And a little bit physically imposing, or else it could potentially be a problem. And it just hasn't happened. But it typically is a little friction when a new dude come walking in.
That's insecurity, and he can't do nothing about that.
No,
the new guy can't do anything about that. He's not trying to replace you as their father. He can't do that because you're their father. But the way you could look at it is, this is another person in my kids' lives who love them.
Yeah. But, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think? Is she the jerk? Is she not the jerk? Drop a line in the comment section and we're going to get at you.
Join the conversation and follow the Unsolicited Perspectives podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your audio podcasts.